Alright everybody, I'm back, and I actually purchased my first two members of a small cleaner crew. Now I actually am going to buy a larger package from Reef Cleaners, but in the meantime my sand is getting pretty nasty looking and I'm getting a lot of buildup on the glass. So I just wanted to get one or two critters to start working on removing some of the algae and things from the tank. So I went to the fish store and I actually bought a Turbo Snail that you'll see on the left side. That'll help to clean algae off the glass and some of the rocks. And I actually got a saltwater Fiddler Crab that I had never heard of. I didn't really think that they existed. They don't need to breathe air, according to the fish store. And they will basically be bottom feeders and clean things off the sand in the bottom of the tank. So I went with those two for now. This week I'm going to probably order a cleaner crew, and actually I'm going to go back to the fish store tomorrow when they get a shipment of fish in, and I'm going to add a couple more to the tank because, as I mentioned in the previous video, I kind of want to add the livestock fairly soon so the clowns don't get paired up and get territorial and all that jazz. So for these critters, apparently they're very sensitive to water changes. You know, in the salinity and the various levels of, you know, ammonia, nitrates, nitrites, that type of thing. So this time around I'm going to try to use the drip method. I've never used it before. I've always used the floating bag method where, you know, you float the bag in the water and then you add some of your tank water, let them get used to it, take them out and put them in the tank. Well, this time I'm going to do the drip method. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the handyman redneck backwoods drip method working in progress here. So actually what I did was I have my larger piece of air tube here. I tried to put some knots in it, but the knots would either stop the flow of water completely or they would let way too much water go through. So I found a clamp in the garage, and I start clamping down the hose until it drips slowly, and you'll see the hose goes, or the air tubing goes all the way down there, and there is the drip into the bowl where the fiddler crab is. Now what this does is it slowly helps the fiddler crab get used to the change in water difference between what was at the pet store and what I have here. So I'm going to let this drip for about 15 minutes or so. I might speed it up just a little bit, but I'm going to start with this. If all else fails, find some things around the house and make yourself your own drip method if you don't have any smaller air tubing. Yeah, it's actually working out pretty well so far. So we will be back with an update after this guy gets a little bit more used to the water, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the fiddler crab's ready to go. We're going to put him in the tank now, and I actually have the snail drip going over here. I don't know if you can see it. But just a quick correction from a couple minutes ago. For the smaller invertebrates in the bottom cleaners and your cleaner crew, you actually don't need to empty out half the water and do it again. You pretty much only need to do that for larger animals like fish, things like that. So I actually only had the fiddler crab dripping for a while, and now since the water volume is twice as what it was, I'm actually going to grab a net and put him into the tank, and then I'm going to let this bowl fill up very slowly. They say the slower the better with snails and crabs and things like that. Slower the better. So I'm going to let that take its time, and then when that bowl is pretty much full, I'm going to grab the snail out of there and put him into the tank. And then I will come back with a video of both of them inside, unless they run and hide real quick, and hopefully everything works out good. Alright, the final update for the time being. Both the crab and the snail are now in the tank. Both looking pretty good. That guy is, I just plopped him in there and he's moving around a little bit. Clownfish are taking an interest to them. And the fiddler crab actually sat in the middle here and ate for a while. You can see the sand has been overturned, like in a small area right here. where it's all white and the sand around it still has algae in it. That's because the fiddler was sitting there eating for a while, and now he's gone into hiding under that rock. So hopefully the drip method worked out well, and like I said, I'll be putting up another video when I get more of the cleaner crew from Reef Cleaners, and potentially if I get another fish tomorrow. So everything's going well thus far. No major drawbacks, no setbacks. All the creatures are still alive, knock on wood. And my first foray into the saltwater hobby is going pretty well. So, all right, until next video. See you then.